And there you have it, people. Welcome to Chat Grapple and Cheap Pops podcast, Sports and Entertainment Network, Hotspur Havoc, Saturday afternoon, and Manchester again is white, mate. What can we say? We go to Manchester, we never lose, bro. Last 2 years, they've not had a look in. And we played these Manchester teams. We played City 3 times last year. We played Man United 4 times last year. And we've gone to the Etihad today. And we've schooled them, mate. We've gone in there, and there's been a lot of shit talked about Tottenham this week. A lot of shit. Eberechi Eze saga, following on from the Morgan Gibbs White debacle. But we're not watching none of that. We're playing football, mate. Thomas Frank is gone in there. He's drilling in what he needs to drill into these players, and they are doing the business. They know what they're doing. They are structured. They are disciplined. They are working hard, and they are doing the business. And yet again, as I say, Manchester is white. Tottenham have gone there again and done the business, mate. A lot of talk. Like I say, this week has been unbelievable. Everyone just thinking after last week, oh, it's just Burnley. It's just Burnley. 3 goals against Burnley at home. Phenomenal performance. This week, a tougher opponent, a tougher place to go. We've gone to the Etihad. And to be honest, Haaland do, mate. Haaland do. He did not get a look in. Haaland do. Do you know what I mean? Mickey van der Ven, Christian Romero, Japalinha, you know what I mean? Jade Spence, Pedro Porro, that back line there. Come on, bruv. 2 games in, no goals conceded, 5 goals scored. Johnson again, ole ole. He gets a lot of shit. People talk a lot of crap about Johnson, and he's gone in there and he's done the business, mate. I don't know. Maybe we should just play him up top. Like, stick him up front, mate. Let's see what he can do as a striker, mate. You know what I mean? Phenomenal. Again, in the right place, right time. But again, Richarlison, phenomenal performance. Absolutely phenomenal performance. He was all over the place again, causing problems, tussling with people, getting their backs up. You know what I mean? Doing what Ricci does, you know? Phenomenal performance from him again. Pat Matasar, phenomenal performance again. You know, these boys, Mahmoud Kudus, my days. The geezer's gone in there. Another phenomenal performance. We're winning. We are tenacious. I've not seen a Tottenham team this tenacious and this fiery for a long, long time. We're winning those. We're winning back the ball all the time. We're picking up them second balls. We made Man City look ordinary today, mate. Like, there's a lot of talk that Man City, they're going to do the business this year. You know, they've strengthened in pre-season. They've bought in players or whatever. Mate, we've signed 2 people, mate. Signed 2 people. João Palhinha, Mahmoud Kudus. We've been pissed around by this fucking... But more recently by this fucking Woolwich supporting wanker who's strung us along, and then Arsenal have come back in and he's dipping to Woolwich. We don't care. You can have him, mate. Like Thomas Frank said, if you don't want to wear the shirt and you don't want to be proud when you're wearing this shirt, then we don't want you, mate, at the end of the day. And it looks like we don't even need you at the minute. So confidence is high at Tottenham right now. If you're watching the performances and you see what we've been doing, you see how we've been playing, today was a phenomenal result. Huge win, huge confidence boost. 8 days or so left of the transfer window. We see what we can drum up and see what we can do. But I've always said as well, like Thomas Frank has said, we have not got a bad squad. Even last season, I said we've got a very, very good squad. But the problem was, it was the tactics. It was the fucking tactics. And 2 games into the season, we're already seeing that the tactics matter. Thomas Frank has been drumming into these players how you structure yourself, how you organize yourself. how you mentally prepare for these games. The structure, the formation matters. He changes it as per whatever team we're playing. So if you look at the stats for this game, Man City had 10 shots. We've had 12 shots. Shots on target, they had 4. We had 5. Possession, they had 61. We had 39. But again, possession doesn't matter if you're not doing nothing with the ball when you've got it. Again, passes, they had 503. We've had 324. But again, the passes were into nowhere. They weren't doing nothing. The way we are playing, we are a force, mate. And even, yes, Connor, we might actually be good. And that coming from a gooner is a thing. The problem is the tactics last season and how we were organised and the mentality of the team for whatever reason was just wrong. It was all wrong. Don't get me wrong. Ange Postecoglou, he won us a trophy. But the fact is, we were absolutely diabolical in the league. We were diabolical a lot of the time. We were getting cut open. But my days, chucking a couple more players, chucking a couple more players to this squad, and we are going to be looking dangerous. We are already looking like a solid team that on the counter attack we can damage you. Against the smaller teams or the less attacking teams, the ones that want to sit back, we're very dangerous. We're just bombarding them, and we're doing extremely well. So I know it's only 2 games in, and I'm not going to get too excited. We're not going to get too excited at all. But all we can do is go off what we're seeing. And what we're seeing is a very well-organised team, a well-oiled machine. And let's face it, you look at Man City, the team that they had, right? And who they brought off the bench. Mate, they bought off the bench. They bought, Rodri, Silva and Phil Foden off the bench, right? Unbelievable squad, Nathan Ake, Doku, Rodri, Silva, the team, Haaland, Reinders, Mahmoud, Shirky, Bob, fantastic team. They looked ordinary. We made them look like Sunday League, bruv. Sunday League, yeah? This is the thing. We are, the possibilities are endless at this point, yeah? And again, shout out to Connor. Kudus and Johnson, they are very comfortable in the system. And the rest of the players, they know their job. This is the thing. With last season, Ange Postecoglou, the system was high press, high press, high press. But the issue with this Frank system and the thing that's working well is the balance that we've got. The balance we've got between that high press and then that defensive solidarity at the back. I'm telling you, mate, that defensive line, Van der Ven in the middle, Romero, Porro, Spence, and Polina in the middle, fantastic. And then he brought on Kevin Danso as well after about 90 minutes. But Polina again, following up the rebound and getting the goal, phenomenal stuff to see. And this is a thing. City look bang average because, let's be honest, like, we made them look average. This is a thing. Like, they just, the way we played, the way we organised, the way we closed them down, the way we shut down and closed the spaces, they couldn't work. They couldn't do nothing. And we did the same thing against PSG. We made PSG look fucking average for 80 minutes. And then 85 minutes, and then the last 5 minutes, for whatever reason, the lack of concentration, the tired legs, whatever you want to call it, that they weren't quite into the system yet, and we let them back in. But still, over 90 minutes, we never lost to PSG. It had to go to penalties, right? But we made PSG look bang average for 85 minutes. We've made Manchester City look bang average. Yes. Shout out to JB. We did give chances. There was at least 2 or 3 chances that City should have really put away. But again, we had more chances that we should have put away. Wilson Odebear had one right at the end. He should have tucked away. You know, we had Richarlison had 2 or 3 good headers at the back post that he should have put away. So, you know, weighing it up, I still think that we were superior to Man City today, which is you know, it's good to say. It's good to be able to watch a game. Last season, I'm telling you, being a Tottenham fan last season and watching the way we were playing, you didn't know who was going to turn up. You didn't know what team was going to turn up because the system, it worked against certain teams and it didn't work against other teams. And then by the end of it, everyone had us sussed out. We were wide open, you know, getting smashed on a weekly basis. You know, so City were wasteful. They were. You know, Haaland had a really good header that he should have put away, and he just sort of got underneath it, and it went over the bar. But again, I think, you know, if you don't take your chances when you get them, and you're playing against a team that, like we played today, that just put them under pressure and didn't really let them play. There were a few spells that they did play well. They were knocking it about nicely. There was a good 5 or 10 minute spell during the second half that they came out really strong and they started knocking it about and they were doing really well. But then we closed it down. You know, so full respect to the lads. You know, everyone on that pitch. You know, it was again, Haaland he had 2 open headers and they were always a little bit behind him, and that's the thing, he just got underneath it a little bit and they went over the bar. But you know, it's one of them things, like, you know, at the end of the day, you know, we've done the business. We've gone to arguably what people have been calling the one of the strongest teams in the Premier League, Manchester City, and we've gone there and we've done the business. And I'm telling you what, every week since, look, last season, Romero got a lot of shit from me at times as well. Because we know he's a very, very good player. He's a world, right? His armband. We've signed him up with a new contract. And this geezer is just coming into his zone. There was a point today where Romero was the peacemaker. Romero was pulling Richarlison away from the aggro. And who would have thought we'd ever heard that? But Christian Romero, phenomenal player. He's in my dream team, and there's a reason why he's in my dream team. Because he is just phenomenal. And what he gives to this team on the pitch is that, you know, those players from yesteryear, you know, those sort of central defensive, central midfielder players that were just the heart and soul of the team, that were not scared to stick a foot in, not scared to get involved. And I'm telling you, Mickey van der Ven today, phenomenal, absolutely phenomenal, Mickey van der Ven. He's not having to track back and do those massive runs. His hamstring will survive. Do you know, out of 60 games that we played last year, we had Mickey van der Ven for 22 games. That was it. We had him for 22 games. If we can keep Mickey van der Ven and Romero fit, because Romero was out for a very long time last season as well, if we can keep Richarlison fit, if we can keep Kudus fit, we can keep these guys ticking over, and if we can get that mentality drummed into them and get that belief drummed into them, you know, we could do extremely well. Haaland, like I said before, he looked frustrated, but the thing is, he didn't get a look in, mate. He did not get a look in, because Van der Ven, Romero were all over him, mate. There were points coming up to the end of the game where Haaland was defending corners and Romero was right on him in his own box, you know, giving him grief, pulling him around, you know, sticking it to him. And that is what we need to do. And that is what we have done. We have gone to the Etihad. We have got a result. It's a phenomenal rock. And wait for the haters. Cue the haters, bruv. Cue them. Wait for them to line up. It's only the second game. Do you know what? Who gives a shit, mate? 2 games in, 2 wins, 5 goals. What are you going to do? Yeah? Tottenham Hotspur, we've gone and we've done it again. We've gone to Manchester, and for what was it, 4, 5, 6, 7, for the 8th time in not even 2 seasons, right? In 1 season and 2 games, we've gone to Manchester again, or we've played a Manchester team, and they've not got a sniff, mate. They cannot stand it. They cannot stand it. They shit their pants when Tottenham come to town, and rightly so. So, I'm going to revel in this a little bit, yeah? And obviously, Tottenham fans, we deserve this. We deserve this. Last season was terrible. Phenomenal squad, just not the right tactics, not the right belief system in place. This season, Thomas Frankie has come in and he has just transformed it. And give him time. This is only 2 games in. Wait, we need a couple more players. Are we going to get Savio Vega from Man City? I doubt after this performance, they're going to be selling a Savio, mate. Los Boricuas. You know what I mean? They're not gonna let us have him. They're gonna be like, hell to the no, you ain't having him. So it might be difficult to get Savio Vega over the line, but we'll have him. Yeah. There's other talk about other players. Boom, boom, boom. There was talk of Rodrigo, that we put in a bid, a very big bid, a £78 million bid, or maybe a loan deal, right? We are still in the market. We have got money to spend. And after that result today, again, it just keeps piling on the pressure and asking these other players to say, look what we are doing. You be part of this. And I think that's what Thomas Frank is doing to these guys. And that's what he did to Christian Romero. He said, look, we are building something here. Last season was an anomaly. Tottenham shouldn't be finishing 17th. Yes, you won a trophy, but that is not the best you can be. This is the best you can be. And last week we didn't look troubled at all. This week there was a couple of iffy moments. We gave them a couple of chances. That's what we need to nail them down and tighten up a little bit. But it is only the second game. So I think maybe we can leave it there. I don't want to rant and rave too long because I could be here waxing lyrical about these boys. Yeah, they've done the business today. City, again, yes, City were one of the teams. But we didn't just beat them last year. We smashed the life out of them last year. We beat them 4-0 at the Etihad last year. We smashed Manchester United. We done the business in Manchester. We love a day trip to Manny, mate. Give us a day trip to Manny all day long, and we will go there and we will smash your back doors in. And that's what we've done today. Shout out to the boys. Shout out to the goal scorers, João Palhinha and Johnson again. Ole, ole. He gets a lot of shit. He's at the right place. He's at the right time. And again, fantastic setup from Richarlison. Kudus has had a phenomenal game. The whole team, Bentancur and Sarr, again, phenomenal game. But the whole squad, Vicario, couple of great saves as well. Still didn't look great on the ball when he's got it on his feet, and he just looks a little bit slow when he's pissing around with it a little bit too much in his box. We give him a little bit too much of the ball in that sense. But again, what can you say? How can you grumble at a performance like that? Manchester City 0, Tottenham Hotspur 2. This is Hotspur Havoc, and this is the Chat, Grapple and Cheap Pops podcast, Sports and Entertainment Network. I am Chris Dredd. Shout out to my main man, JB, on the buttons. And we will probably leave it there. So, leave you with this. Man City 0, Tottenham Hotspur 2. Come on, you Spurs.